Hey, hope all is well with you. I am Leslie of LesAnn Creations, coming to you from my workroom. Hoo-de-hoo. So, today, or at least this part of this is here. I don't know. My task today is to complete the shirt that I've cut. So, it's cut. But, I did a few things. I don't know if I said it in the first video when I actually cut this out. I don't remember. I'm going to try to edit it before this one, maybe. I should be able to get it done. If I can find all the pieces. That's my problem. I don't always find all the pieces. But it's okay, right? I hope. Anyway, so this is a shirt. I bought the material from, I think, Hobby Lobby. I don't always buy fabrics or buy material. Like I said, I have my own little store of stuff. But sometimes when I'm looking for particular colors or a particular print, I'll go ahead and search for some at the store. I want to make some shirts for him, which is my little one, as well as the older grandson. This one's probably going to be his size. I didn't even look at check the number, the size. Nope. But this one is it. No, it may fit the older grandson. I'm not sure. If not, it's okay. Because it ain't gonna go to waste. So I made a couple of mistakes during the process of cutting this out that I did not finish or didn't realize I hadn't done. One, I somehow, that shows you don't do alterations or do projects when you're slightly tired. Because when I'm slightly tired, I make mistakes. So the first mistake I made was I didn't cut the actual, I have it under here, but I didn't, when I did this, why is it on one layer? I don't know. I was supposed to just cut interfacing. I cut the fashion fabric as well. I didn't need that piece. So I think I have at least one piece in here. Nope, I don't. I got to cut that out now. That has to be cut, which is not a big issue. I'll take care of that in a second. The other thing I have to do is I will interface the very top of the pocket, and that's to add stability. I want to put a piece of interfacing in the seam, the fold, under the fold line. So the fold line is here. So I'm gonna actually interface in this area, not both sides, just the hemline. I have to do that. Luckily, I still have material left over. I do have enough here. If this one happens to fit the older grandson, because it's a 14, and that's the only thing that a lot of people don't realize or don't know. Excuse me, is that a lot of times the kid patterns, the numbers are really kind of off, so you have to go only by the measurement. So it's best to go ahead and measure your child's chest as well as their hip measurement, and 9 times out of 10 the size that they buy in the store is not going to be the same size you actually made. This is a 14, which matches or fits a chest a size 42. So that means it fits more sizes. And the other one is a 38, which is perfect for him. I think I did a 38 for the last shirt, and he still can fit the shirt that I made him before. I do tend to, usually for my grandkids, all of them, I do always tend to add a couple of inches to their garments, at least, because most of the time they are too short. So to give them a little bit more longevity, I tend to make them a little bit longer. So the other thing I didn't cut, don't know how I managed to miss this, is the actual collar. And I will cut 2 pieces of interfacing. It says cut one, and it depends on which one I use. If I use the real light one, I'll cut 2. If I use my medium one, I'll cut 1. I do that because I do want some kind of body to it. Uh, because my light one is real light and this fabric is light, and I don't want it to be that light. I hope that makes sense. So I got that to do, and I should be able to make this shirt hopefully while I'm making this shirt, I am actually winding and bobbing so I can do this alteration. I'm trying to do multiple tasks at once, and then we should be good to go. So hope you enjoy. Hope you learned something. Yeah. Most of the patterns that I do have for my grandsons or boy patterns picker, these patterns are old. I don't hardly buy new ones. I Unless I need it for a size reason, because I don't usually do commercial patterns. Or a client brings a pattern to me and they want something made specifically, or the other reason is because I just have patterns. I've had them for years. This pattern it's a pattern I have for my sons. Let me see if I can read the year. It looks like 1999. Yep. It's copyrighted in 1999. So this pattern is at it is 2087 boy pattern. It has a pair of cargo shorts, shirt, and a jacket. I will try to take a picture, not a guarantee. But it's not, you can't get this one unless you happen to go maybe on Etsy or maybe Facebook Marketplace. But you may not find this. I do suggest once you find a pattern, say you're doing kids' clothes or redoing something for grandkids, whatever else, especially for little boys. Once you find a pattern for a little boy and you like the pattern or just find it, period, keep up with it because they don't really change. It's usually a shirt, pair of pants. There's no frills, nails, and all that jazz. But I like this one because it already has a slant pocket set up to it and already has a cargo pocket with a flap set up on it. So I do like this one. The only modification I may make, um, which is probably nothing. I'm probably not gonna make a modification, but this is the pattern for it, and we're gonna go ahead and do these pieces, and while I get to it, I'll be watching some TV. If you have questions about anything that you see here, make sure you drop a comment below, and I'll do my best to answer. I'll try my best to answer in a short amount of time, but not always a guarantee, but I do my best. Some days is better than others. So, anyway. All right, I decided as I cut out the interface pieces that I will go ahead and fuse them to whatever pattern piece I needed to. This I cut about a half an inch to an inch strip to put at the very top of the pocket, and that gives stability so it doesn't bow or flop out so much. Plus, if I decided to put a button there, it will be good. I ironed both the collar fashion fabric before I actually fuse the interfacing to it. One, heat and heat, glue. It adheres a little bit quicker and easier if you do that. I use scissors to go ahead and clip my markings. I do that most times as long as I have a 5/8 inch seam allowance. I don't know about you all, but it's frustrating when you cut additional pieces that you don't need, so you feel things go to waste. So you see me ironing that piece, and on this particular pattern, to not remember to do the interfacing was frustrating. And as you can tell, what I ended up doing was I actually only needed the interfacing. That the actual pattern already had the interfacing or the facing piece already attached to the shirt, and I only needed the interfacing. So I ended up wasting that little bit. And I would have made a bigger mistake if I had fused it to that pattern piece. So I'm glad I recognized that before I made it too far. Anyway, like I said, it is best to kind of cut your ironing time down from in between when you start to sew. It's best to try to infuse as many pieces that you can to your project before you sew. That way you don't have to stop so much in between. Again, I am using my scissors to do the markings, as well as I needed to lengthen the piece. It was just slightly too short in a couple places, so I went on and trimmed it out. At this point, I have already attached the front and back together at the shoulder seams now, and have already sewn my collar pieces together. Here I am actually attaching the collar to the shirt. It is partially encased in the facing and the body of the shirt. I do go ahead and also hem my facing onto itself so that it creates a hem in the front of the shirt, that all I have to do is turn about a 1/4 of an inch. I think it's 1/4 inch or 1/2 an inch for the hem line. Here I am actually attaching the sleeve to the garment. I'm pinning it, and with pinning any kind of sleeves, just make sure you have the notches in place. Certain shirts it's more important than others. This one not so much, because it's a really not a huge slope difference between the front and back, but make sure you get in the habit of notching your shirts or marking your shirt marking, so that you are less likely to end up with your shirt on the wrong sleeve. Well, your sleeve on the wrong portion of the shirt. I don't know. Anyway, so this really doesn't take long. It probably takes me longer because I'm using so many pins. Why I'm using so many, I don't know. And go ahead and attach it.
I do attach using the flattest part down, I think, just so that I can see what I am doing and to control the fullness that may come in place. Sometimes when you have that excess fullness, it's actually to add ease into the shirt. This one does not need ease at all. Now, everything is not shown. Certain portions of the shirt I did serge so the seams so that they didn't unravel. So some of it is not actually visible to you all. I realized that after I finished this video, because I'm going over this video probably 4 times by now, but it's okay. We're going to get it together. After, of course, making sure that's attached, I go ahead and sew my side seams. Completed doing both sides. These do have a vent or split on the side seams back stitch. So I have to about 2.5 inches away, 2.5 to 3 inches away from the hemline or the side seam, and so that I can go ahead and put those in place. You don't have to do this. It just, I decided on this particular shirt. Make sure any of your curved edges you trim out. These scissors weren't the greatest for this. I worked a little extra hard just to get those in place. I'm going to have to look into getting some better scissors because the ones I have right now are not the best. So that's the biggest part about doing this, because I am going to actually do a stitching across the collar to help my seam to lay a little flatter. Now we go ahead and get to the ironing board. I know that many people don't particularly like to iron when it comes to doing a project, but this is something I have done for years. I am very big on ironing throughout your process because of how the product end up looking in the end. Not everybody cares, but I do. My auntie always said, never have do anything. And so for me, this is something I learned all the way back when I started sewing, is to always iron throughout the process, and it just makes your product, makes your finished garment look so much better. And so I've stuck with it. It works for me. It Yes, some people don't care. I care a lot. So got everything ironed, the hems ironed in, so that I can go ahead and finish all the hems. Anything else? The last thing, of course, was to do my, get the buttons and stuff on it. I don't have a recording of it. I think I may have like a short of just me doing a couple of buttons, but that's it. I, 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 I gotta do better. Yeah, I just have to do better in keeping up with where all my content goes. That's something I'm gonna work on for this new year. Is to be a little bit organized when it comes to my content. I love what I do. I love showing what I've done and how I do it. Hope you enjoy it as well. So make sure, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all the next time. Have a great one. Deuces.